Welcome to the Imperial Grandstand, and my name is Alan Imperial.
Hey, and my name is Carlos Del Rosario. How you doing, Alan?
Pretty good. Welcome to the couch.
Oh my God, the couch. It's so comfy. The big comfy couch.
So welcome, and today we're going to be talking about My Hero Academia Season 2.
Yeah.
And we're only going to be talking about like the first half.
First half, basically the tournament arc. Now, it's funny because anime is replete with tournament arcs. You know, what anime can you think of that have tournament arcs?
So a show that I'm watching right now is Dr. Stone.
Dr. Stone, which is just all science stuff.
Yeah, it's like wow, they have to talk about acids and
bases and like carbon, like tournament arc. It still has a tournament arc because it's anime. And,
Yeah.
But yeah, Dragon Ball Z, it's like 20% tournament arc. You know,
Dragon Ball.
Dragon
Also-
Ball. Oh yeah, all of them, all the Dragon Balls, all them Dragon Balls, Alan. Can't afford.
I'm 5 years old. Thank you. Let's see what other animes have tournament arcs.
Well, there's Yu Yu Hakusho and Hunter x Hunter. Naruto, of course. Yeah, one of the famous the Chunin exam. Yeah, that's a famous tournament. But yeah, and I love myself a tournament arc. It really expands the universe of an anime. You get to put the spotlight on characters that you know of, but you really want to see in action, and they really get their moment to shine.
Yeah, we're going to learn about characters today. Like on the screen right now, we have Uraraka, Gravity Girl, in pink. We're going to learn about her today. We're going to learn more about Ida and possibly a little more about his background.
Yes.
And who else are we going to learn about in the tournament today?
Well, of course, there's Izuku Midoriya, but he's the protagonist. Yeah.
We know a lot about him.
We know a lot about him.
Ooh, we get to learn about a secret hidden power we touched upon on the last episode.
Yes, we'll get to that. It's very important that we talk about it. But yeah, this is one of my favorite arcs in My Hero Academia. So let's just get to it. Oh, by the way, this is in preparation for season 4, which is coming up pretty soon as of now.
By the time this is published, it may already be out. So we're going to be trying to catch up.
Yeah.
And talk about every episode in season 4.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen season 1 or season 2 or season 3, you don't listen to us. I mean, just watch the show. It's on many platforms.
Now we will be talking about the episodes. So if you just want to have us on in the background and just learn a little more, this is still a good listen. Oh, and if you are listening, leave a comment. Let us know you are listening.
Yeah,
nice to know.
That'd be nice to know. But yeah, basically, you're here because one, you want to recap. Maybe you're a little fuzzy on season 2, but also you're just going through YouTube. You just want more My Hero Academia. You just want to nerd out about it like us.
If you love nerding out, smash that like button.
I hate you, Alan.
Yeah, beat you to it. Oh, we're keeping this part.
Yes, there we go. Yeah, we're keeping this in. Don't worry. All right.
Let's talk about season 2.
Let's talk about season 2. And you know what the most exciting thing about our this is? Oh man. Oh, we just read from Wikipedia. Yeah.
We would love to show you the opening intro. We would love to show you actual scenes, but YouTube says you have to have a Verve account and not have it on YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just not going to show video. We don't want the strikes. We don't want to get blocked, etc., etc. So, we will be scrubbing through the episodes to, have a visual guide of things, but we won't be playing any audio or video just because it's like, we need people to watch this. That's kind of the point.
Right.
All right.
So, before the season begins, you get the Hero Notebook, which is just basically a recap.
Yeah. It's strange because a lot of anime has like the recap clip episode. I'm like it's still really fresh in my brain. I mean, the season didn't come out that long ago, so but you need to fill it, somehow the time slot.
It's like a year apart, and it's building the hype train.
Yeah.
Because this wiki actually has the air dates, which is nice.
That's very cool.
So yeah, there was only like a week apart.
Yeah. All right then. So the first episode, the students of a UA Class 1A was attacked by the League of Villains, led by Shigaraki.
Yeah, they were attacked in the theme park.
Yeah, theme park. Yeah, that's like they were on rescue missions, and that was pretty cool. That was a great idea for to have an ambush there because there's so many different landscapes.
Yeah, so basically we start off with a news report talking about it's still smoldering, the theme park, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, but they're still recovering from that. But no time to rest because the UA Sports Festival is coming up. It's basically the Olympics because people have superpowers now, and no one cares about the normies and their athletic abilities. So, unfortunately,
I think Usain Bolt would still be held to a high standard.
Yeah, but he doesn't have rockets attached to his calves, unfortunately. The idea of the sports festival is that people from hero agencies they look at these young students, and that's how they pick these students out to be sidekicks, and that it's basically internships where they learn and grow and they get to make connections. And
for us, it's broken up into 3 different parts. The Hero Festival. It's the first one is a race/obstacle course where you just have to get to the end, but there are robots because naturally.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to the robots.
The second part is kind of this weird thing that I'm not gonna spill the beans on, but it's fun. Yeah. And the last part is the tournament arc.
Oh yeah. It's basically a 1-on-1. But All Might confesses after. Let me bring up some people here. So All Might.
Oh wait.
Oh yes. yes. Let's talk about this.
So All Might is very near and dear to our hearts because he's basically the Filipino flag.
Yeah. He's red, white, blue, and yellow. So. Let's make a comparison. Let's tap in Filipino flag. Yeah. And let's find a vertical flag. There we go. So we got one Filipino flag, and we got All Might. I'm sorry.
I was watching the show for about 3 seasons, and then this man just goes, Filipino flag. I'm like, what? No.
Oh, and even his Silver Age costume. Look at that.
Oh, they actually talk about his Silver Age a little bit later in the season.
Absolutely.
Not in the tournament arc. So, now,
yes.
My question is, when you say All Might was talking, I think you came up with some great names while we're watching the show. So on the screen right now.
Oh yeah, let me bring it up here. I didn't coin those terms, by the way. I watch a lot of people who talk about it. I mean, I think I heard it from Nux Taku.
Nice.
Yeah, and he I don't know if he created the term, but we have Small Might, which is the emaciated form. That's the secret form of All Might, which
he has to wear baggy clothes because when the need comes, he's going to turn into Tall Might.
Tall Might.
The Filipino flag.
Yeah. And All Might confesses that All For One, since he fought the Nomu during the attack on UA. Hold on, let me bring that up.
That now he could only hold his Tall Might form for only an hour. Yeah. Before it was about 3 hours, and now he can only hold it for about an hour, and then it's gone.
Yeah. So it's there's a ticking time bomb here because Deku is the inheritor, and he has to get good real fast. So it's extra pressure on young Izuku Midoriya. But All Might says that with the tournament, it's basically Izuku saying to the world that I am here.
all that pressure.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure for the young man.
So that's pretty much the episode, and everybody's excited because this is people's time to shine. Some people are looking to market themselves. Some people are trying to fulfill their dreams and hopes.
Yeah,
and we get to learn about them during the arc.
yeah. We know about Uraraka's backstory. Now, her motivation for becoming a hero is actually, it's sweet. I think she just wants money to provide for her family, and being a hero in this world would definitely help with that.
And it's wonderful that she's like, oh, I have to carry on the legacy because I don't know if her parents have quirks or not, but she feels that with her powers she could be number one, and that's great because there's a whole thing dedicated to that, which I don't want to count out the bag.
Yes. Oh yeah, and that will to provide to prove it to herself. It's there's an episode that's very emotional. It's gonna be coming up soon. So let's just go to the second episode. Let's bring that down, and basically the kids are training. And, the class is approached by other students from UA. UA consists of different classes.
Yeah, there's, I think, 4 sections.
4 sections, yes. There's the hero course, but also there's general studies, the business course,
support, which is support and the superheroes are the ones that really own the tournament. Now, anybody could join the tournament, which we find out from one of these characters.
Mm-hmm.
I forget his name.
Yes.
I think we saw him for like a quick second.
Yes, but since the hero class 1A was attacked by heroes, they get the limelight.
Right. Everybody knows that they have the quirks, and they know that they could at least handle themselves because nobody got terribly hurt.
Yes. And Class 1A is not the only hero course. There's Class 1B as well, who have a rivalry now. And that it shows definitely in the tournament arc.
Oh, yeah. They definitely feel that, hey, they're just as good as Class 1A. It just so happened that they weren't attacked. Oh. And they definitely have something to prove.
Yeah, and Bakugo, being Bakugo, he's like,
Screw you guys.
Screw you guys. Nope.
Yeah.
He knows. So
basically, he's just antagonizing everybody.
Antagonizing, yeah.
And so here on screen right now, we are at the stadium where they hold the Quirk Olympics.
Yeah.
And here I think we have the 2 main rivals for this.
Yeah, you would think it's Bakugo. It's not Bakugo for this story arc. It's actually Shoto Todoroki. Let's get a picture with him. He has a really cool quirk. Let's see here.
That was Ghostbird.
Yeah. So his left side controls fire, and his right side controls ice. And he is the son of the world's number 2 hero, Endeavor. And he's got a interesting relationship with him. But he calls Midori out, and he's like, "I'm gonna win this, and you are my list, Midoriya," because he sees the will of Midoriya. He sees the will of Deku, and he's threatened by him.
Right, and definitely it's that spirit that draws everybody to Deku, and we're gonna get into that.
Oh yeah,
later on because it backfires. It backfires hard.
Oh yes, but Deku doesn't take it lying down. He's like, no. A year ago he wouldn't do that, but he's like,
yeah, here
Here, he's like,
game recognizes game, so Deku knows why people are coming after him.
no, he worked hard, and, it's like, no, you come at me with everything you've got, Todoroki.
Yeah.
There we go. Look at that determination. Ooh.
Twinkle in his eye.
The twinkle, yeah.
Nice.
Look at that. So we go ahead, and it's a sports festival. Ooh.
Now, here, they want Bakugo to speak, because, as we learned last season, Bakugo won the entrance exam.
Yeah, he got the highest score at the entrance exam.
And here, they're just like, oh, please speak. Please say a few encouraging words. And normally, one would be like, oh, thank you.
Yeah, being gracious, which is, good.
Humble.
It's good sportsmanship. That's not Bakugo. It's not how he works.
His speech is just, I'm going to win.
I'm going to win.
And to this big stadium.
Yeah, and of course, everyone hates him, and now he's a target. But there is genius in why he does that, because he's basically putting himself against the wall. It's like, he has to win now.
It's what the Patriots do every year. Us versus them.
Yeah. And it's like, all right, either I do it or I don't. And we begin. It's the first game. It's the obstacle course. And they just need to get to the finish line. But they are attacked by giant robots.
Right. These, if you recall, are the 0 Point robot from Season 1, where Midoriya actually had to save Uraraka. And, yeah, there was one before. Here on screen, are 5.
Yeah, there are many.
6.
Yeah, there are many. And we see how strong Todoroki is, because he basically just creates like an ice mountain and takes a bunch of them down. And he just continues. He goes on. And Midoriya is like, okay, this is I don't know what I'm going to do now, but this is going to be interesting.
Right, because if you don't recall, Midoriya can't actually control his powers. So far, every time he's used it, something broke.
Yeah, even he has problems using his powers, and it's because One For All, it's just too much. His body isn't prepared for it. So, yeah, if he puts 100% into One For All, it's like, yeah, he just breaks things.
Yeah, his legs, his arms. So, while he's running, I think he picks up some scrap metal.
Yeah, I think that's in the next episode. But let's see here. Let's continue. Let me get a. In case I'm missing anything, let's just get a thing here. So episode 3. Yeah, Todoroki effortlessly passes each obstacle with Bakugo in hot pursuit. Last obstacle. Oh yeah, Izuku uses his wits to win the race. But the victory is short-lived, because he learns by being first, he is the target for the next round. So
yeah, we're gonna get there.
Yeah, I'm just reminding myself.
Right. So there's a thing. So can we scroll back just a little bit to the cowl?
I don't know if I get it exact. I'm sorry.
I believe in you.
No.
So I love his costume design, but it's always just
whose costume design?
Midoriya's.
Yes.
Because he has a cowl, but it's only there to be used as a cape.
Yeah.
So this is the recap part where everybody's talking.
Yeah, we're recapping. Okay, so Todoroki does the cool thing with the ice and freezes a bunch of them. Oh, and we got to see some of the other people, class 1A and 1B. So this is Kirishima. He has rock powers.
He gets hard.
He gets hard.
Every teenage boy.
He gets hard. That's his thing. He gets hard. And he's not alone, because in 1B, you have Tetsu, who also gets hard, but in metal form.
He's the Colossus.
He's basically Colossus. It's like Colossus and the Thing. And they have a rivalry going on in the season, because it's like, it's kind of like when two girls have the same prom dress. It's like,
who is wearing it?
And that would happen if 80% of the world had quirks. You know, there would just be quirks that double. Bakugo is there. You got Tape Arms.
Sero.
You know, Sero. He's there. Oh.
We have Dark Shadow.
Tokiyami, who is one of your favorite. We'll get to Tokiyami later, but basically he's got this really cool power where he could manifest a creature, a dark creature called Dark Shadow, and it's really cool. Yeah,
I love his design. It makes me laugh.
Yeah,
it makes me so happy. So here is the aforementioned scrap metal.
Yes.
And this comes in handy later on because during this obstacle course, there's a minefield.
Yeah. So you got a few things, but like Midoriya's like, can't use my powers, but I got this piece of metal. Let me see what I could do with it. It's gonna come in handy.
Oh, let's talk about
Mei,
pink-haired girl.
Mei Hatsume. She is from the support class, and she has a special dispensation where it's like, since she's support, she gets to use support items. So she has like hover boots and grappling hooks, etc.
Supervision with her goggles.
That's cool. Yeah. No, I love her attitude when it comes to inventing things. Like, yeah, she's crazy. She's a crazy inventor.
She wants to see if it will work because she has crazy ideas.
Yeah.
Oh, we just scrubbed. Oh, Ida.
Yeah, Ida. Yeah, doing things, and Midoriya is going there. But the problem is the last obstacle is a minefield. And you have to be very careful with the minefield. You can't just rush through it. This is an example where Todoroki and Bakugo are in the lead, you know,
and that's
side by
because
side.
their quirks allow them to detonate stuff in front of them.
Well, they're actually really careful here. I mean,
right.
Yeah, that's actually right. They don't want to set it off, but the others are setting them off, and unfortunately, Midoriya is way in the back, and is like, no, he's got to be in the All Might is depending on him.
He has to be number one.
So he does this crazy thing where he assembles all of the he digs up a bunch of mines, he puts them in one place, and then
it's back a few frames.
Yeah, no, it's actually they do the belly flop first, but he belly flops into a bunch of mines, which has him sailing.
That's a cool shot.
It is. Which has him sailing through the air. And that's how he gets first place. Yeah. Hold on, let me go back a little bit because they do it in reverse on the show. Where he's gonna dig, and he's digging right now.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
And he manages to be in first place, and to everyone's surprise. Yes.
Yeah, his mom is crying.
He does it, and he's, you know.
Of course he did it. There's his mom.
There's his mom. She's very proud of him. I think this is the first time she collapses.
That poor mother.
Yeah.
Right, that's the first time she collapses. Everybody's doing the golf clap.
Yeah.
Like, hooray.
And it's a very impressive feat. Yeah, those are the business classes. This is Todoroki, I think, comes in second.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, Mineta basically hitches a ride onto Momo Yaoyorozu.
He comes in fourth.
Yeah, I don't know the number after that. But yeah. But most of I think all of 1A actually makes it through. Yeah. But
this is the second phase, which we glossed over earlier. It's the cavalry battle.
So in the cavalry battle, you have a person with a headband that has points on it.
And on the screen, you saw that the higher your rank, the more the points.
Yeah, so...
And our hero, Midoriya, came in first. So let's see how many points he's worth.
Yeah, hold on. This isn't as exact as I'd like it to be. And I can't play it because I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube. He has like 10 million points. Let's just Let's just say that. And the point of the cavalry battle is to steal the headbands off of someone. So he has 10 million points while everyone else has 75 points, maybe 25 points here.
400 points.
400
whatever.
points. Yeah. He has 10 million points, making him the biggest target. And in the cavalry battle, you are held up by your team, and if you hit the floor, you automatically lose. So this is you're not just fighting other students. You're actually, you have to team up with other students. You need to depend on them.
Right. So it's this thing where not only do you have to choose the team, but your team members are literally relying on you.
Oh yes.
To not lose the bandana.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, that is, yeah. There we go. That was episode 3. Now, what I find interesting with Midoriya and some of his teammates is that he needs to depend on them, and he needs to choose wisely. And he knows that Todoroki and Bakugo are after alongside with everyone else.
Anybody on Class 1B out, Bakugo out, Icy Hot out, and just because they're not gonna want to carry his load, literally.
Yeah, and
so one person that he thinks he could rely on is their class representative.
Yes.
Ida. And as it turns out, Ida's like, no, I can't team up with you because...
Yeah, let's get a picture of Ida here. So Ida, if you recall, has the rockets on his calves.
Yes, somebody you actually want to be...
Yeah, actually, he's your ace in a hole if you're doing a cavalry battle, because that person with the headband needs to be held up by people, and like Ida has the speed. He's a major force in it. But although Ida is a very good friend of Midoriya, he's like, no, I lived in your shadow for too long. I need to be my own man, and I want to win this. And it's nothing personal. Like Izuku totally gets it, but he is disappointed by that.
So you have Bakugo here teaming up with what's his name?
Kirishima.
Kirishima, because they're friends.
Well,
I think Kirishima's Bakugo's
eventually, yeah. What I find interesting about Kirishima is that he literally has a thick skin, both figuratively and literally. So that's why I think Bakugo has such a strong relationship.
Because he's the only one who could take his love.
Yeah. His
friendship is just him yelling 80% of the time.
Yelling, yes. They become equals. And it's something that's really great. Medetta teams up with I forget his name, but the guy with the dupla arms.
Yeah, he's limb guy because he could do like eyes on his hands and stuff. It's weird.
But Midoriya is in trouble because he's a target. No one wants to be a target. They all want to succeed, but he needs to choose people.
Right. So he remembers Gravity Girl, Uraraka, and
and Uraraka agrees to be to partner up with him because she's a very nice girl and she likes Midoriya.
Well, it doesn't hurt that he saved her.
Yeah, they do have a kinship.
So here
and they ask Ida, but Ida's like, no, gotta be my own man. We can't do this.
So he has to look around. He remembers Hatsume.
Mei Hatsume. And Mei, she could bring in equipment. So eventually Midoriya is given a rocket pack. So that's pretty cool. That's very handy. And you combine that with Uraraka's anti-gravity. That's basically, so like you basically just float your way through things. That's nice. And there's the rocket pack that she has. All right,
I forget who their fourth.
Their teams are forming. Oh, they're fourth. What? Their fourth? Oh, it's one of your favorite characters.
Oh, that's right. How could I forget?
What? They need...
I remember.
Ah!
They get Ghost Bird.
Yeah, they get Tokiyami over there.
Yeah, he's one of my...
Explain this Ghost Bird thing, please.
So, clearly, he's 100% bird.
Well, I wouldn't say 100, but he's a good amount of bird.
And his ghost is 100% ghost.
But it's also a bird.
That's more than 100%.
You see,
You're allowed in the
I've been dealing with this for like 2 years. I don't know why. I'm amused that he's so amused. I still don't get it. I find it kind of tiresome, but he's very amused by this ghost bird thing. So that just needs to be acknowledged.
I'm trying not to laugh. The first time, there may have been some drinks or other things to help me see this vision. But the first time I came to the realization, he's Ghost Bird. I think I was laughing for 5 minutes, and I started crying because there were just muscles in my body that were just being used that I haven't used in a while. Oh, it makes me so happy. So I love Tokiyama because he has one of the few quirks that clearly has one of those my strength is my weakness is my strength type of deals. So I just, not only do I find this little amusing ratio percentage thing, I actually love his character design.
Oh yeah, it's very, very clean, but it's like, ooh, you look cool, man.
Yeah,
Nice.
And Dark Shadow has his own personality.
Revelry in the dark. Yeah. No, he's a fun character. And I think Midoriya has a great team because you have Mei Hatsume's equipment with Uraraka's anti-gravity quirk, and you have a Tokiyami with the Dark Shadow, so that's good for defense and maybe some offense. It's just, okay, it's a very well-rounded team. And we go for it, and the cavalry begins, and it's very tense. Everyone's watching.
So, just to give you some perspective.
Yeah.
Just go back to that to one of the points. I think that last point total was like 600 points.
Yeah, it was like 615
for four people
for Todoroki. Yeah,
and yet Midoriya's team 10 million.
10 million.
So
10
just
million
to show you the
some
disparity.
Change, yeah.
Now, the goal here is to grab other people's headbands, and the top 4 teams advance. So you definitely have to either play the defense game if you're Midoriya here, or you just start gunning for everybody else.
Yeah. Bakugo. He's gunning for Midoriya, but it's taken by a person in class 1B who basically has a quirk that steals other people's quirks, and that really pisses Bakugo off.
Siler.
Yeah, like a Siler. I don't know his name offhand, but he's like, nope, that guy's dead. I'm gonna kill him.
Why would you piss off the guy who literally said, "I'm gonna win"?
Maybe you don't know him and you think he needs to be taken down a peg, which he does, honestly.
Or maybe he's just gonna prove himself right of how awesome he is.
Yeah.
So, the tournament's in full force. People are either gunning for other people, and Midoriya is just running scared.
And Todoroki is on his butt. All right, so episode 5. Let's just take a look at the description here. Episode 5. Ah, yes, the end of the cavalry battle. Okay, it's a heated confrontation between Deku and Todoroki. Okay, great. Now I remember. Wonderful. Let's go forward here. Oh, just a ton of things are happening. Mineta wants him. Sue wants him.
Oh,
The frog girl.
yeah. Both these people are on the same team. Both Class 1A. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's Momo with her creation power.
Look at that. Just everyone.
Wow. I'd be freaking out if I was
Yeah.
Midoriya.
I would too. But he managed to escape, and, kind of with the help of Todoroki.
Well, Todoroki just wants other people's points.
Yeah. Well, he really wants to Deku's points, the 10 million or so.
Yeah. Well, I think he just wants all the points because
Yeah.
that's how he is. Oh, so here we have Bakugo going
Yeah.
against Sylar. Oh wait,
Hold on.
can we find the frame?
Nieto Menuma. His quirk is copy.
Copy.
Here we go.
Bakugo's just mad. Icy Hot's making ice walls.
Oh, can you explain Icy Hot?
I can't pronounce. I barely could speak English, so I can't pronounce the Japanese people's names.
Yeah.
And it's apt for Icy Hot because half of him creates fire, and the other half creates ice.
Yes. Icy Hot. There we go. So in case you're confused, we nicked actually in the dub I think they call him Icy Hot. I think in the Japanese subtitles they call him half and half. Because that's more universal. But I Icy Hot's fine. You kind of get the point.
I just see Shaquille O'Neal doing that little hip wiggle.
Yeah.
Like loosens my back.
Yeah. So with the help of Yida, Midoriya's best friend, they managed to steal Midoriya's headband, and now Midoriya's team has no points.
And again, it's the top 4 that goes through, and Midoriya really, really feels the pressure because, remember, All Might said at the very beginning, this is for you to showcase your powers to the world because he's basically going to be his predecessor.
A successor.
Yes.
Yes. All right. But it's a last-ditch effort. Oh, look at that. Yeah, it's basically just a solid battle between the two, and it's just gonna be a clash between Todoroki and Deku here. Deku uses his all for one, maybe not all of it, but just enough to get Todoroki off his game. Todoroki, he uses his fire a little bit.
Just enough to be like, no, don't hurt
he's
me.
just scared. Don't hurt me. And we'll get to why that's important later. But he swore to not use his fire in a fight, and Izuku manages to steal a headband from Todoroki, but unfortunately, the headband is the wrong headband. It's not the 10 million. It's worth, I think, 75.
Not enough to get to 4th place.
Yeah.
Now, here, everybody's gunning for Icy Hot because Icy Hot has the 10 million.
Yes.
You have Midoriya with Dark Shadow.
Yeah.
And Bakugo all gunning for it. Time is ticking down.
When I should have... this is Bakugo's revenge on the guy who could do copy. Where it's like... Actually, this is one of the first times you see Bakugo as a team leader. Yeah. And he's actually quite effective. He's not the most respectful, but he's like Acid Girl, do the thing. Rock Guy. Like, my name is Kirishima. But it's like...
Rock Guy.
But he's giving them commands, and it's like they're working as a team. Tape arms!
Yeah, he knows all the tools in his tool belt, and he knows how to use them.
Yes. And he manages to get his headband back. So
oh, okay.
That's nice. And after that, he's gunning for Todoroki and Deku.
Oh, yeah. And so anyway, time is ticking down, and you think that, oh no, somebody's gonna get the 10 million. and and there's the frame.
Time was up, and then
So we're like, oh no,
oh no,
does our hero never got the points?
he never got the points. He only has maybe 75 points, which is not enough to move on to the final rounds.
But my man, Ghost Bird, he's not limited just to himself. He has Dark Shadow, and Dark Shadow for the win, baby.
Oh yeah, Dark Shadow managed to get a 6-15 off of Todoroki, and their team is going to the finals. All right, this is where we have to talk about Izuku's powers here. So, you see,
we showed you the frame with his mom crying before.
He inherited those tears. That's a family trait, but
because we know everything is based in reality, and we know how strong that ground is.
yes,
And yet he's crying, and clearly he is ankle, calf, possibly knee deep in the ground.
they say Midoriya didn't have a quirk. Look, if you cry like that, that's a quirk, man. How much pressure does it take to push you down beneath, to
be
ground,
sunken in the earth.
But I know it's a joke. We know it's just it's so funny. He cries a lot, but yeah,
It's a quirk.
yeah, we can't ignore it. Like man. But another thing about Midoriya's crying is that I feel that he cries a lot, and I think it comes from a place of insecurity, that he doesn't feel like he belongs with these people.
Oh, he definitely has imposter syndrome.
Oh yes, and it's like, and you wouldn't see like Bakugo or Todoroki crying like this. So
Right, because not only is he crying because he's moving on and he's not a failure, he can still prove himself. He's like, oh man, these people are fighting just as hard for me as I am for them.
Yes.
And he's not used to that because growing up, he was always getting bullied.
He was ostracized. Yeah, he was in the 20% that did not have powers, and he was, in a world where everyone, like 80% of the world have superpowers, and you don't have a superpower, you're less than normal.
Yeah, Bakugo really bullied him over basically his whole life.
Yeah, and I get it. He was ostracized, a Midoriya for most of his life, and he finally finds people that are fighting for him. That's beautiful, but he needs to build his self-confidence.
And that's what this is all about. So here, I think we were just talking about how. Oh, in the beginning we were talking about how it's really icy hot and Midoriya.
Yeah.
And they're both in it. They're both in it to win it because in Team 1 is icy hot because he has the 10 million points.
Yes.
And Deku snuck in because of Dark Shadow.
Dark Shadow, yes. And
they know they're gonna fight.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, this has been building up even in the credits, the opening. But Todoroki noticed during the cavalry battle that your power, it's a lot like All Might's. Huh.
And we know that his powers come from his parents, and Icy Hot's like, is your dad All Might?
Are you All Might's love child? I was like, no, and he is. It is.
Did your mom clean up Arnold Schwarzenegger's house?
Yeah. And Todoroki was about to use his fire, which he never does in a battle, and that's actually explained later in the next episode.
Yeah. It's during the turn.
Yeah. So let's move on to the next episode.
The boy with everything.
Yeah.
So here, I think we really focus on how we have the haves and the have-nots, because Midoriya doesn't come from any quirk family.
Yeah.
But Icy Hot's dad literally is the number 2 hero, and we get to find out that not just like how we have to find out how just like in we had royal marriages back in our American and European history, Here they have quirk marriages.
Yeah, quirk marriage. So in a way, yeah, I think they made it illegal eventually in this universe, but it's basically eugenics, I'd say, because you have people with great genetic material, and it's like, oh, let's just breed you like flies, and to come up with a super being. So there's something kind of nefarious about that. But Todoroki is a product of a quirk marriage. His mother had an ice quirk, and his father, as you know, Endeavor, he has a fire quirk. And
now, throughout the whole show, we've only been talking about Endeavor.
Yes.
And we haven't really talked about his mom.
Yeah.
And you wonder, oh, where's his mom been at? And here we kind of find out the history. Because Midoriya is kind of insulted by Icy Hot here, because he's like, hey, I'm trying my best to move on, to showcase my talent to the world, to really prove not only to other people, but to myself that I belong here and that I'm ready to take on whatever the bad guys have. And Midoriya sees that Icy Hot is holding back.
He's holding back. Yes, because his father was abusive and really led
Is abusive.
Well, not physically abusive anymore to his son. I think his son could fight back.
Psychologically.
Well, I don't know. Like, as far as I saw in the show, I'm like, hey, he's just being an asshole. That's not technically abusive.
Tomato.
All right. Anyway. Yeah, I can only call it from what I see.
He's being a jerk, clearly.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, Endeavor and Todoroki just having this struggle, and his mom also got a good bunch of that same kind of abuse.
Yes, and she cracked down, and she eventually hurt Todoroki. That's why Todoroki has that scar. So from that point, I feel Todoroki swore off not to use his father's fire quirk in battle, just to spite him, to spite his old man.
Very much akin to another great anime. Did they have a tournament arc in The Last Airbender? Because clearly there's something very Izuku about him.
Are you saying Avatar: The Last Airbender is anime?
I would say that.
Oh.
I would go on that
Okay.
that branch.
All right. That's is a hot dog a sandwich?
Yes, a hot dog is a sandwich.
All right. Comment below. Let me know what you think.
Smash that like button if you made it this far.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna make big judgments on that, but it's like there were tournaments in Avatar: The Last Airbender, but there's no like big tournament arc.
Right. That's why I'm like, they fought off and they had to, but there was never, clearly a 1-16.
Yeah.
March Madness type of deal.
Yeah. So Endeavor has a lot of beef with All Might.
Right, and here you see kind of a glimpse of why Endeavor puts all this pressure on Icy Hot, because he's been looking up or at All Might's back.
Yes. Yeah, he's the number 2 hero, but he knows in his heart that he can't match the power of All Might. His popularity, his
leadership skills.
He just can't match him that way. So that's why he went into the quirk marriage, so that he could breed with someone, create someone who can take down or surpass All Might. So he keeps on calling young Shota Todoroki, his son, his masterpiece, and it's just he's treating his son like an object.
Yeah, I like to call it a success object, because he doesn't see a person or his son.
Yes.
He just sees something that could fulfill his own desires and dreams.
Oh yes, and yeah, that's basically him in a nutshell right now.
And that's why he being Icy Hot doesn't want to use his left side.
Yes.
Because the person that he loves that we didn't talk about that we learn on later in the episode. His mom is institutionalized or put into a hospital or sanitarium or something.
Yes. It caused a lot of family drama because of his father's attitude and abuse.
And so his mom was taken away because of his dad, and he doesn't want to use that. And there's this whole power struggle between him and Midoriya, because clearly Midoriya is the guy to take down.
Oh.
Totally forgot they had a cheerleading thing.
Yeah, it was kind of an accident, or no, it was a scheme by these two, Kaminari and Mineta. They fool the girls who don't make they fool the girls into thinking that, oh yeah, this is your uniform, this is what you're supposed to wear. All right, that's some return.
Momo is mad.
That's some return of the Revenge of the Nerds type stuff, man. Okay.
It was funny in a different time, but not acceptable now, boys.
Yes.
No, don't do that.
So the final part of the tournament is basically one-on-one battles.
Yeah, and they're broken up between. Oh, what's her name? That teacher with the whip.
Oh, Midnight.
Midnight. Yeah, they're broken up into March Madness style breakdowns. Here we have. Oh man, what's this? This is a hypnotized guy. I forgot his name.
Shinzo.
Shinzo. He is
Yeah,
actually.
let me just double check that. Yeah.
Yeah, while you're looking that up, Shinzo is actually from General Studies, and he kind of has been like
Yeah,
Midoriya,
Shinzo. Yeah, Hitoshi Shinzo.
because he has a quirk that isn't flashy, but he wants to save the world, be the best hero. But the first test that you have isn't against things that could be hypnotized.
Yeah, it's kind of unfair. It's against robots, and hypnotism can be a very potent quirk, but because of the system, because we want people to have explosion quirks or really fast,
Or be strong.
It's
be
like
very physical.
no, I think that's really unfair for young Shinzo, who has a really great ability and could easily be a villain if he really wanted to.
But he's doing the upright thing, going to school, accepting the fact that he's not going to be in the hero class, and still trying to be in the tournament.
Yeah. So Shinzo, the way his quirk works is
he basically has to talk to you, and you have to talk to him.
I think he asks a question,
There it
and
is.
if you answer the question, then he can control your mind.
Yeah, it's not just you. It's just not having a conversation.
Yeah.
It's he'll be like, "Hey, what's the time?" or whatever, and he'll say, "Oh, it's 4:20," and boom, you're hypnotized.
You're hypnotized at 4:20.
If you know what we're talking about, leave a comment and smash the like button.
So yeah.
Oh, subscribe,
at the end
bell.
at the end of this episode, yeah, Midoriya is indeed hypnotized.
Right, and he could easily just literally talk him off a ledge.
Yeah.
I could hear the song.
I know you can. It's also the tournament arc has one of my favorite openings. We can't play it, unfortunately, but it's a really great opening.
They're just stretching.
So yeah, Shinzo is controlling Midoriya and making Midoriya go out of bounds. So the way to lose,
Right, there's a few different ways,
Yeah.
kind of like Tekken. There's ring out, and there's KO. But there is no double KO. There has to be a winner. So if there is a double KO, they have to do something to break the draw. And here, Midoriya is going to lose because he's about to step off the edge. And there's these apparitions.
yeah, he's about to step out. He's about to go off, but then he sees apparitions, manifestations of his quirk. One for all. Remember, one for all is passed down from person to person. So I feel these are the essences of the people that had one for all. Guiding him, kind of like a Thundercats or Obi-Wan type of thing.
talking to him through the Force.
Yes.
I would say it's more of an avatar state.
Or an avatar. Ooh, that's good. I like that.
So here, he unconsciously basically uses his quirk
Yes.
to get him out because he breaks his fingers.
Yeah, he so much energy just goes through his fingers that bam creates that, and then he's back.
And he's like, "Oh, I can't talk now."
He has his agency back. I can't talk. And
now remember, we had all this training on a Dagobah beach.
Yeah.
So
Dagobah Municipal Beach. Yes, that's right.
So even though he doesn't have super strength right now, neither does Shinzo.
Yeah.
So this is just a battle of who wants it more.
Yeah, athletically, Midoriya has the edge according to the fitness tests. And let's see here. Midoriya.
There it is.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah. Midoriya.
I think he does
a judo flip, a similar judo flip that he used on Bakugo. In the first season
when they were blowing up the building.
Yeah, and he makes Shinzo go out of bounds. Boom, done, and Shinzo's out.
Yep, ring out.
What I find amazing about Shinzo, he's kind of at least in this episode, he's kind of a foil to Midoriya, because Midoriya and he, they're kind of kindred spirits, because before he got All for One, it's like, oh, I'm just not respected without, a quirk, and like I would kill to have someone else's powers,
And Shinzo has this great thing, but it is kind of looked down upon in this universe because it is a very villainous power. Like, oh, I can control others.
Yeah, but I have a lot of respect for him because he still
wants to be a hero.
He still wants to be a hero. Yeah. So another match is
Sero?
Yeah, versus Sero. Let's see here.
Oh yeah, we have the nurse.
Oh yeah. Todoroki has a heated conversation with his father, and that just gets him all riled up. He's like, "You are my masterpiece. Stop rebelling and join me. Together we could rule the galaxy."
Are they going to overthrow the Emperor?
Yeah.
So they really have seen Star Wars a lot.
Yeah. No, Horikoshi, he's a big fan of Western media. So it's Sero, the tape guy, versus
Icy Hot.
Icy Hot. And Icy Hot, he kind of goes too far because, he basically just freezes he makes a mountain of ice and just traps young Sero in it.
That's unfair.
Yeah, that really, and I love the audience reaction. It's like, you tried best. Oh my god.
You didn't die, Sero.
Good job.
You showed up.
You were there. But like Todoroki's like, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I've been going through things. But but Deku sees this and he sees how much turmoil Todoroki is. Everyone else would be like really, really scared. No, not Deku. It's like
Deku's like, bring it on. I can take him.
I'm like, I gotta help this guy. He's in pain. I'm like,
that's actually what he sees.
Yes. All right, next episode.
I think this one we basically see everybody else before we get to round 2.
Yeah, let me see here. UA Sports Festival. Kaminari. Yeah, we get to see other people. Mina, yeah, Tetsuo Kirishima. Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember this episode now. Yeah, we get to see a ton of things here. So let's just scroll through it.
Yeah,
so
like here we have
Kaminari, the electric guy, versus the plant girl. Sorry, I forgot her name. But she basically has a Medusa-like vines that grow out of her head.
And she is a lot better versus lightning guy here because trees take a lot of lightning all the time.
Yeah.
And that's how I view this fight because...
Done. It's done. It's over.
Now, the thing that we're glossing over here is that I can't pronounce his name. Lightning guy.
Kaminari.
Kaminari. Every time he uses his power, it makes him kind of dumb if he goes a little too far. Hey guys, I'm doing it.
I love it. Yeah, and it makes sense. Like, he uses too many watts, and then he gets dumb.
His brain just stops thinking, and I get that. I get that a lot.
Yeah.
Not my brain getting a lot of electricity. I just get dumb a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, something we didn't gloss over is that the nurse is really mad at Deku.
Well,
at Midoriya.
She's gonna get even madder.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the tip of the iceberg. So Ida's against Mei Hatsume, if you recall. She's the from support, and she has all this equipment, and she gives some equipment to Ida, so that's why to quote unquote help him.
But here it's really not for Ida. It's all about Billy May Hatsume.
I didn't even. Oh, that's good. So basically, May is just using this sports festival to sell her gadgets to
her stabilizer that Ida's using, her leg attachments, which she uses for auto dodging.
Yes. Hover boots, etc., etc. She does this for over 10 minutes, just playing around. With Ida.
She has a net gun.
Net gun. Very clever. And she just decides to, I'm just going to quit. And I showed what I need to show, and thank you.
And Ida's upset because he just got shown up. There he is in the background.
It's like, come on. And it's like, he won, but not in the way he wanted to. So that's just hilarious. And I love that. It's like, yeah, he's a guy that takes himself way too seriously. So, yeah, he needs to be taken down a peg, sure.
And the thing about his stabilizers is the fact that it makes him not control his power because he doesn't know how to actually stop on a dime yet.
Yeah. We got... I'm just going to call her Pinky because eventually she takes the name of Pinky.
Acid
versus,
Girl. Or whatever her name is.
Ayu Nama? Is that his name? But it's
call him Frenchie.
It's the French guy, the French Havoc. He's got the laser beam coming out of his belly.
He sparkles. He says it himself. He says it himself in a later episode.
Yes, he just can't stop twinkling. And Pinky easily wins this with her superior agility and her
uppercut.
Her uppercut. So she wins. That's really cool.
Again, because everybody here is being taught how to fight over using their quirks. Well, because they realize that you have to learn how to fight first before anything.
Yeah. Momo, one of the great characters in Class 1A, she has this awesome quirk that helps her create inorganic material out of her lipids.
Yep. Now, the thing about her that we learn about is the fact that she's what's considered a legacy.
Yes, she is a legacy, along with Todoroki, Icy Hot.
Right. Legacy basically means that instead of having to go through the entrance exam of with the robots from season 1, you're just basically put into UA hero class.
Yeah. There's a slight assessment of your abilities, but you have recommendations from other heroes that are really in the biz, and then she got in through that.
Now, because of that, Momo here feels like she has even more to prove. So not only is she has this awesome quirk, she's also really smart.
Oh, she's very smart. Yeah, she's literally the top scoring person in the class.
Yeah, she's kind of like Midoriya when it comes to this tournament. Oh, I have to make this to counter that, and she's up against Dark Shadow.
Yeah. You know what? I think I heard this at a panel. The voice actress for Momo. It's that she's a very smart, very capable young woman, but sometimes she could be underconfident. And you know what? It's important that other young women know this. Like, even though you may have all these abilities, and like sometimes your mind, your underconfidence, can get to you, and that's very important.
Right. Now, that's important to talk about here because Dark Shadow just fights.
He just fights,
And
Dark Shadow is relentless. That Dark Shadow again is Tomoyaki's. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
he's the quirk.
He's the quirk that he can conjure.
And Momo here is like, oh, I have to
Being assaulted.
I have to just be on the defense, and once I can think my way out of it, oh, I'll win. But here's the thing, just a barrage of hits. And if you notice in this shot, her foot's over the line.
She's out of bounds. It was a bad matchup. Sometimes, having a quirk versus another quirk, it's just a bad matchup.
Yeah, because his quirk is just all go, go, go. And with her quirk, she needs a few seconds to compose herself.
Yeah. So, okay. Here's Tetsu versus Kirishima. Again, they both have hardening quirks. And it basically
I like to call this match when your friend picks the same character as you in Smash.
Meta Knight versus Meta Knight.
It's just a different skin. And they basically knock each other out.
Yep.
So here, we have Uraka prepping for her fight against Bakugo.
And that's just a bad matchup already. We'll get into that because we have
There's
that
a whole
episode. But
here, what we're seeing is Midoriya saying, "Hey, I've known Bakugo my whole life, basically. Do you want my notebook about his strengths and weaknesses?" And I love Uraka here because she's like, she gives the thumbs up. No, I'm good. Just she knows that
she's got to do it on her own. That's she can't depend on Midoriya forever.
Now, what I love that I'm just noticing now is that she doesn't have a straight smile.
She's nervous. I'd be nervous against Bakugo. Yeah, sure.
So it's like, good on you for putting on the brave face, because I would take that notebook and cry and cry.
Yeah.
If I had to fight him.
Absolutely, yeah. It's but I like her positivity. So we go back to Kirishima and Tetsu, and they knock each other out. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Because they're both
they have the
so
same
similar.
quirk. They're both Meta Knight. Now, Midnight here declares a draw, but of course, as mentioned before, there can't be a draw. So they're going to deal with it in the next episode.
Yes. And there's Bakugo with his angry bitch face.
Yeah, he's not happy. And there's Uraka just composing herself, knowing the storm's about to come.
Here we go. Episode 9. Here we go.
Now, everybody knows Bakugo is clearly the better fighter. 1, because of his attitude. 2, because of him winning. And him just, having the confidence to say he's going to win again. And Uraka is just anti-gravity. So, we already know how the crowd feels about the underdog. They're very much like the real world. Oh no, we don't want you to lose that badly. Yeah. But Bakugo
is relentless. He's just going to use his firepower. And, a way for Uraka to win is if she just touches Bakugo and just make him go sailing. Because she could control, his gravity if that happens. But she's got to get close enough.
And Bakugo here just got fooled because he's been literally playing the cat and mouse game, because he knows that if he's touched, he's probably going to lose.
Yeah. So he's just trying to keep Uraka, far from him.
Yeah. And here he's like, oh crap, I'm about to lose again.
Yeah, she does this cool thing with her uniform and like, oh no, it's a decoy, and Uraka
she makes it anti-gravity and
tries to go for a sneak attack. Doesn't work though because he's Bakugo, and he just
fires an explosion.
And he keeps on doing that. Just fires explosions into the ground.
Yeah.
And he just seems like an impossible opponent.
Right, just to go a little deeper into his quirk, because I just like talking about Bakugo. He's actually my favorite character, and this fight is where I fell in love with him. He actually makes nitroglycerin instead of sweat, or his sweat is part of nitroglycerin, and he controls it that way.
Oh,
where
yes.
like
And
he's
that's-
not firing explosions, but he's sweating volatile stuff.
Well, he's making explosions.
He is, but there's a science, and that science is important to me.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to make sense. They just have to say it.
So
And I love this shot because here, clearly, Bakugo is the bad guy in just the way they framed it.
and the audience is getting mad because they think Bakugo is being a bully. Why are you picking on this, this girl here?
Yeah, they think that Bakugo is toying with Araka, but no, he's like, I'm just trying not to lose because she has one move that will clearly win.
Yeah, the teacher, Mr. Aizawa, he comments that to give your opponent your all, that's a sincere form of respect. If you're actually holding back, that means you're disrespecting your opponent. Yeah. So in a way, Bakugo is honoring Uraraka by doing his best, even though he looks brutal.
Yeah, because they don't realize that here she's really trying to win.
Oh yes.
And even though he's winning overwhelmingly, he's like, I could lose in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if he's just touched once, he'd get out of that ring.
Now, we've been watching the entire fight, Bakugo using his explosion power on the ground. We're seeing all this scarring, and you're like, oh, they must have forgot about physics, where if you make something crumble, there's got to be debris.
Yes.
But no, the creators of the show didn't forget about that. What's happening is Araka is using her anti-gravity to make it a cloud of stones.
And she basically creates a meteor shower. And it's such a great moment. And, like, you gain so much respect for Uraraka. I mean...
This was her game plan the whole time. I'm going to survive long enough to make it rain.
Yeah.
So here, Bakugo has a choice. Do I defend against Uraraka or do I defend against the meteor showers?
Yeah.
And he basically doesn't have to choose because he just...
he does one giant explosion. He takes care of both. He just, bam! Does a giant impact. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, and that was the best Uraraka could do. And
what we don't notice because we're scrubbing it quickly, but Bakugo's hand shaking.
Oh, well, yeah.
Like
it's very hard to get a frame like that. There we go. Hold on. Let me see if I... Yeah. There we go.
His hand is shaking there.
Because it was just... It took a lot. It took a lot out of him.
Yeah.
He's not going to show it to people.
But
it's just...
He's like, oh, this girl right here, this woman, this lady. Well, she's a girl. She's a teenager, preteen.
Yeah.
His opponent just like, oh, she pushed me to my limit. And I love that. He's not going to say it, but he definitely felt it. And if we could scrub back just a little bit, he had this look of, oh, I finally get to fight hard now.
All right, here we go. He's ready. And that's
because he loves the fight. He loves the fight.
But Uraraka,
and she's just like, I survived a shockwave. I think I have a concussion.
She wants to fight. Her body just doesn't want to, though.
Her mind is willing.
Her mind is willing. Her soul is just...
It's there, but her body is jelly.
No. And she's just...
And she got KO'd.
She was down.
We brushed upon it earlier, but
yes.
Here it's like she sees her family as she's losing because she knows why she wants to fight, and I love that like you learn at least in this show you learn about the characters and their motivations, and it's like makes that fight even better.
Yeah. So Uraraka, she loses. Bakugo confronts Deku, like, you gave her notes, didn't you? And like Deku's like, no, she fought her.
And now he's even more mad because it's like, wait, what? That was her who almost beat me, and then his friends are telling him, oh, why do you pick on that frail girl? And Bakugo's response is, there's nothing frail about her.
Nothing frail about her.
Ah,
It's like, and that's a compliment from like as far as compliments go. That's from Bakugo. That's high praise.
he's not gonna say, "Oh, you did a good job," or "You almost beat me." He's just like, "Oh, that was a worthy opponent."
Uraka with Deku is putting on a brave face. She just got healed by the
nurse.
recovery girl, the nurse.
She gave her a little kiss on the cheek.
A little kiss on the cheek. But with Midoriya, she's like, "Oh, that Bakugo! I almost had him. Oh boy!"
Yeah.
And
and of course Midoriya's like, "Yeah, you did a great job." And she's like, "Cool, I need to heal now because oh wait, no, my dad's calling." And we see how people are different in front of different people.
Yeah, so,
because here she just totally doesn't have that attitude of everything is good.
She's talking to her dad and she just feels like a failure. And she let her family down.
And her dad's like, "What are you talking about? You almost beat the guy who's supposed to win all this." Yeah. So he's just excited that like his baby girl is now becoming like this and then, powerful superhero.
Yeah, she has a lot on her mind because she wants to provide for her family and she's in a big rush. But it's like
he's like, don't grow up so fast.
Don't grow up so fast.
This is your freshman year.
Yeah, let me go back a bit. We also got a little bit of remember Kirishima and Tetsu had a draw, so they settle things as manly as possible with an arm wrestling match. Boom.
Yep. And the thing wins.
Yeah. It's over the top. I don't know if you understand that reference. It was let me Google it for you. All right.
I only saw that on television. I never saw it. I didn't even know it was on in theaters. It just showed up one day, like on Channel 11, the movie station.
Yeah. All right. This is a bit of a tangent because it's a tangent. But
this is over the top. I actually really like this movie.
Yeah. It's an arm wrestling movie. Arnold Schwarzenegger, he's a truck driver who goes into the arm wrestling world, and he goes into tournaments, and he's trying to raise his son.
Well, here's the thing. He's not trying to raise his son because he had an agreement with his wife.
It's okay, yeah. But
he's gonna live his life.
He's settled with his son though for a good amount of the movie. I mean,
well, what happens is
we're not going to explain the plot for.
We're just
not
movie.
Because we're just not. I just want to mention arm wrestling. There you go.
Here is one of the iconic scenes where he has to go over the top.
Over the top. Here we go. Here's the one with. Let me get a bigger one. There we go. Done.
Look at that trucker hat.
Got the trucker hat and he flips
backwards,
the hat.
And that's when you know it's game time.
Yeah.
And there's his son in the poster.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's one of the most famous canon movies.
Yeah.
The makers of Masters of the Universe and what else?
Death Wish.
Death Wish 2 on.
Yeah.
I mean, and Invaders from Mars. Yeah.
If you watch or know of Over the Top, let us know in the comments because now I'm just interested.
Yes. A Golan Globus. Oh, Superman 4. They did Superman 4.
Oh man.
Yeah, there we go.
Is that the one with the sun god?
Yeah, that's Nuclear Man.
Nuclear Man.
Yeah. Oh, okay. But you see, we get this.
Can we get a picture of the sun god? Really
no.
Quick? Just.
No.
Ah.
That's a tangent to the tangent. It's just.
We're not going that tangential.
Exponential. But here's the real deal, man. It's Todoroki versus Izuku Midoriya, and it's the fight we've been waiting for. This is, I would say, the climax of the tournament.
And it's not even the finals. Oh, but what is this? What do we get? We get a glimpse of just a guy scratching himself.
Oh, yeah. It's the leader of the League of Villains, Shigaraki. Yeah. He's like, oh, now what's up with this?
It's like,
all right, this is interesting.
We haven't talked about them all season.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is they're watching the tournament.
Watching the tournament like anyone else because,
You watch the Olympics when it's on.
Yeah. All right. And it's Shoto Todoroki versus Izuku Midoriya. Next episode. All right, here we go.
So the recap, they have a lot baked into this fight, and they basically just fight the whole episode.
Yeah. And remember Todoroki, despite his father, his abusive father, he's like, no, I'm not going to use my fire quirk, my left side, because it represents, the abuse and my hatred for my father.
Now, remember, we just had the Bakugo Uraraka fight. So Midoriya is like, you just saw what happened, right? Like, Bakugo almost lost while still trying his best. Are you really going to do me the disrespect of not trying your best right now? Because I'm going to try my best.
Yeah.
And that's where we are in this fight.
Yes.
It's not just a battle of characters. Because, a lot of shows just have characters fighting just to fight. No, that's not why I love the show. And maybe I don't know if I'm speaking for you. But I think you love the show for the same reason, that there is an underlying ideology that's being fought right now. Do you take whatever you have and use it, or do you repress the things that you think are evil inside of you?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's an ideological battle. Midoriya, knowing him, he wanted this his entire life. If he didn't have one for all, his quirk, he would be totally envious of Todoroki, because he has not one but two amazing quirks, and he just refuses to be the best hero he can be. So he is offended by Todoroki, who only wants to use his ice, and he's fending him off by using one for all in his fingers and just creating giant
Shockwaves.
Shockwaves.
Now, something that we haven't touched upon for a good 5 minutes is the fact that every time Midoriya uses his quirk, he doesn't know how not to hurt himself.
Yeah, generally he has a problem not hurting himself.
So here he's already broken 2 fingers.
Yeah, at least 2, trying to fend off Todoroki, and he only has so many fingers, and it's how is he gonna do it?
So every time Todoroki's trying to incapacitate Midoriya, because it's worked before in the Senso fight. No, was it the Senso fight or Zero fight? The tape guy.
The Zero fight, yeah.
The Zero fight. Oh, keep it on that frame. Oh, that's brutal.
Yeah, you feel the pain. It's
Midoriya knows that he has to make sure this ice doesn't touch him, or else it's over.
Yes. So he's just fending off Todoroki's ice powers. Todoroki goes for a big attack, but then
It finally happened.
Midoriya decides to use his entire arm, and now
he doesn't decide to use it. It's the fact that, oh my gosh,
he could decide not to use it.
Well, there, but it's the fact that the ice finally caught him, and now if he doesn't use it, he will lose.
Yes.
And let's see what his arm looks like after he breaks the ice.
Yeah, but Todoroki, we talk about his quirk, but he's actually a very good tactician, because he does save himself with his ice quirk.
Oh yeah, because he's about to be ring out himself from the
So Izuku Midoriya's arm is all screwed up, and he's basically out of fingers right now.
Yeah, pause it. Now, something that they're showing on the screen that Midoriya notices is that, hey, how come all these ice patches are forming on our icy hot hero here?
Yeah.
And Midoriya realizes, there is a physical limit.
Yes.
To what Icy Hot could do, just like there is a physical limit on what Midoriya could do.
Yeah, Todoroki, it's psychological. He needs both of his powers to work, because if he just goes too far on one side, I feel, especially with his ice, he starts to tremble. He's not as strong, and if he used his fire side, he would be much more potent. But he's refusing to do that.
Right. So Midoriya is just, I guess, kind of, I don't know if it's a taunt or he's trying to encourage Icy out here. It's strange because it's like you should be fighting to win, but he's like encouraging him.
Yeah. So Todoroki feels this is it. I'm gonna do one final attack because Midoriya is all out of fingers. But Midoriya does one blast, and it turns out
He does something that no person in their right mind would do. He breaks his finger again.
yeah, he double breaks his finger.
Oh,
And let me find the frame here.
it's purple. It's a different color purple.
Oh my god, yes. And he's like, you're trembling, Todoroki. Everyone's trying their best here. And you're only going at this at half strength. Give me everything you've got. And it's just, oh my god.
What a crazy.
Crazy. Midoriya
crazy
is
man.
nuts. I love it.
But he knows this is his path to being number one, because All Might isn't just number one in the hearts of the people. He's number one in the hearts of his peers. So he knows that, for him to become number one, he has to make sure everybody around him is at their best, because at one point he knows he has to rely on them like they're going to rely on him. And I just love that. I don't know if it's forethought
Here's the thing.
or if it's just his personality.
Here's the thing with All Might, it's like he's one pillar. He stands above all. I mean, people admire him, but it's like, but people love Midoriya.
Yeah.
That's a difference, and that's something All Might, doesn't have. They all admire him as a person,
But
as
there's a
force,
distance.
But it's like there is a distance with Midoriya. It's like,
Get in here for a hug.
yeah, they all want to help him, with or without the quirk. And most of the time, without him using the quirk, they like his mind and his will more than they love, his one for all. And this is one of the reasons why you follow Midoriya in a way.
He's willing to do what other people won't even think of.
Yeah, and it's the best and worst thing about him, because he wants to save people, but he's also willing to risk his life and hurt himself. I'd argue, sometimes he just doesn't need to do that, but he does it.
I feel like he just wants to bring out the best in himself and in others.
Yeah.
So it's a drive. It's beyond a need. Like I don't even know if he even thinks about this.
Yeah. Well, things definitely do change in the third season, because he's like, no, I'm totally.
Well, there's a reason for that, and it's at the end of this
great.
episode.
It's
why there's a change.
Yeah.
Because right now he's the kid of, I'm made of rubber. I'll fall and I'll just get right back up.
But he's eventually he grows wise. Like, I will totally like hurt you to get what I want.
Yeah. At the end of this episode, there's a reason. We'll get there. So we have the commercial break.
Todoroki, they're fighting. And Deku's holding his own. And he's breaking even more fingers.
Yep.
And they're fighting. Eventually, Todoroki, because it's so emotional, he ends up in flashbacks. That's what happens in anime. Things get so emotional. It gets so Dragon Ball Z. And it's like, oh no, a flashback. And he goes to the flashback with his mom when he was younger, and that he doesn't want to be like his father. He hates him. And
because he's mean.
Yeah, he's mean. He's like being separated from the rest of his family,
from his friends, and
his mother. His mother just goes over the edge.
This is the moment where her crazy eyes turn on.
Yeah, and she hurts poor Todoroki. That's why he has the Prince Zuko scar. Yeah, and this is where he swore, not to use his powers. But Midoriya says, "It's your power, isn't it?" And again, Todoroki has another flashback, and this time of All Might. Out of all people,
everybody's number one hero.
Yes, and All Might tells him that, yes, children do inherit quirks from their parents, but it's what you do with that quirk that matters. Todoroki is not a, is not a victim of his own blood.
The sins of the father did not pass on to the son, and it gives him hope that maybe he could overcome whatever is inside of him.
Yes.
So Todoroki gets a fire lit under him, literally.
And it's just, he just embraces it, and it's a glorious moment. I wish we could show the video, but we'll get in trouble. But it's amazing, and he's just so like,
I like how they have the same smile.
Yeah, for different reasons. But Todoroki came to terms with his fire quirk. At least at this point, he has problems later on.
We'll get there.
But it's a beautiful moment, and
Endeavor finally feels like, oh my gosh, finally everything I've wanted.
Yeah, oh my god, he's finally using the quirk, and like, you could finally surpass me, son. My masterpiece.
Yep. And Midoriya is finally like, oh right, now we're gonna go crazy. We're gonna use 100%.
Oh yeah. So they just go at it. Todoroki at 100%. And you have Deku at 100%, and everyone is going insane. Like, Cementos here is like, nope, this thing's gonna end. Someone's gonna die. And then, hold on, Midnight's like, yeah, I gotta get these boys to fall asleep. This is crazy. This is crazy town, because this is too large. And so it's just a head-on collision. Who's gonna win? We don't know.
And we have a nuclear explosion. Now, people with quirks are protecting themselves, and what's Endeavor doing? He's just taking it in.
Oh my god, look at this! It's crazy. I love it. But who's the winner in this fog of war? And it turns out Midoriya
ring out
is out of bounds. Todoroki wins. Such a great episode. Even Todoroki's like, I can't believe that happened. That just happened. What? Oh my god. And it's just this great paradigm shift in his character. I love it. All right, next one.
Yeah, that's not. And this is the semifinals.
No, it's not. Yeah, that's the finals. Semifinals. These are more like the
quarters.
Yeah, these are the quarters. Yeah.
Oh right, because we have next fight is going to be Ida and Vine Girl.
Yeah. Excuse me, I'm gonna head out right now. Continue.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Excuse me.
So we're taking a bio break apparently. So we have the tournament going strong, and here we have Endeavor talking to Todoroki, Icy Hot, and Endeavor finally thinks, oh, my son, you're finally embracing both sides of you, and we can train like I always wanted. And Icy Hot's not about that. He feels like, oh, he had to use it in that moment, but he doesn't want to use it anymore. And I get that, because this is a new feeling for him, and it's hard to embrace something that you have been fighting against for most of your life, because they still have things to work out. Now, here is what I was talking about with Carlos earlier, when it comes to Deku, Midoriya just being a little more cautious after this fight, because from here on out, Recovery Girl doesn't want to heal Deku anymore, and the reason for that is she knows for a fact that Deku is going to have permanent damage if he keeps on repeatedly breaking his body.
Yes. Yeah, it's a real wake-up call, because it's like, you can't depend on her anymore. You gotta learn how to control your quirk, which eventually he does, but like, he's way too reckless with One for All, and he's he will actually have permanent damage to to his body if he continues.
Yeah, and I think you'll see that in the coming seasons because he has to learn how to either one become strong enough or two maybe pull something a little back. But we'll get there. Yeah, so here I think Deku is just talking to All Might, and he kind of feels like a failure at this point because Midoriya wanted to win. He wanted to really showcase that he is ready to take the mantle of All for One and make it his own. But clearly there's room to grow.
Yeah, there's room to grow, but it's like he understands why I did it for Todoroki, and that's what heroes do. They help people. So he completely understands that. All right, moving on.
Yeah.
So we have some other battles. We have Tomoyaki versus who else?
Who does he fight?
Who does he fight this one? Oh, Yida fights
Medusa.
the Medusa grass vine lady. Let's see here.
Both with ring outs.
Oh yeah.
He fights Pinky.
Fights Pinky.
Now, that's an unfair fight because acid doesn't work against ghosts apparently.
Yeah, not terribly effective. Let's see here. Yeah.
So
Midoriya's gonna have that scar for the rest of his life.
Yeah, that's the damage.
Yeah, it's just not aligned. Yeah, and it's a sign that's like, no, you gotta really control your powers. You can't let this happen again.
That's gotta be forever a reminder of what the limits are.
Yeah.
But I think All Might is Small Might here is really proud of Midoriya because he did the hero thing of helping somebody in need.
So this is actually for the future episodes. This is Ingenium, Tenya's brother. Tenya, Ida, he comes from a hero family. They have similar quirks where they're all really fast, and Ingenium has his own hero firm.
Yeah, and he has a cool armor.
Yes.
And he's just patrolling, and what happens when he during his patrol, but he meets somebody we're gonna get to know and loathe.
Yes.
Stain, or maybe love if
Yeah, I think he's a very interesting character myself. But yeah, he encounters Stain, the hero killer. So here's another matchup: Kirishima versus Bakugo.
Again, it's an unfair matchup because explosions versus versus rock hard. I think Bakugo's faster.
Well, it's not just about being fast. It's just that Bakugo, it's underrated, but he does have very good analytic abilities, and he figured that Kirishima can't really sustain his rock form, so he just gives him a barrage of explosions
like that,
and he can't sustain it. I feel if Kirishima were smarter, he's not smarter. He would try to find a way to avoid that, or at least keep that in mind. But his problem is that he's kind of a one-track mind, which is the best and worst thing about him.
Yeah, he's a hammer and everything's a nail.
Bakugo wins that. Let's see, what else? What do we got here?
I think the next matchup is going to be Ida versus
Icy Hot here versus Todoroki.
And it's an unfair matchup because...
well, I wouldn't say unfair. I think Ida, if,
Well, for the arena, because it's so small, he literally is making...
I mean, I think at this time it's more about how you use your quirk, who you are as a person, than the quirk itself. And...
because what happens here is...
Yeah, because this time Todoroki doesn't win through brute force.
No,
he
wins by clogging the exhaust.
Yeah. Ida grabs him. He's about to win.
Oh, because he's been winning this whole tournament by just pushing people out of bounds?
Yes. But he does a precision ice thing on his exhaust, and that prevents Ida from using his rocket calves. So, that's very... But, again... Todoroki didn't use his fire powers. Didn't have to.
Yeah, and Endeavor is just annoyed.
Yeah. And it's a double loss for Ida because Ida's brother Ingenium, he
just bloody.
succumbs to the
To Stain.
the stain.
And we don't know what happens. He's just bloody on the ground.
Not yet.
Now here we have Bakugo versus Dark Shadow and Tokiyama.
It is. Hold on. Let me just get it right. Tokiyami.
And going off of what you said about Bakugo's analytics, he realizes that the strength of Dark Shadow is the fact that when it's really dark, he gets stronger. But on the opposite side of the coin, when it's really bright, he gets weaker.
Yes.
And during this, he figures it out. So he doesn't have to, use the biggest explosions like in his last battle. He just has to use the brightest explosions.
Yeah, so that's what he does. He uses like a flash grenade, a flash bang. And he makes
him yield.
He yields. And again, that goes down to Bakugo's analytic abilities. It's like very impressive. And it's not just the quirk. His quirk is already pretty impressive, but he figured it out by using his brain.
Yeah, because again, he painted himself in the corner of he has to win. And not always the strongest person is going to win, because clearly he used his mind.
Yeah.
Now, this is where Ida is getting a phone call from the hospital, because Ingenium, met the hero killer.
And he finds out that his brother has been injured and is in the hospital.
Now, this is terrible, but, thankfully Ida could get the hell out of Dodge and visit his brother. But we see here Tomorrow?
No.
That's the guy with the hands.
Yeah, that's Tomorrow Shigaraki. I made that mistake in the first video. I apologize. Let's see. Kurosaki. Hold on. Let me just look up his name.
Yeah. So, this is the ambassador of the League of Villains, and basically Stain is on their radar, and he's inviting them to their hideout, saying, "Hey, you should come on over."
Kurogiri.
Black Mist.
There we go. Kurogiri.
And that's what we're seeing right on screen now.
Yeah, Kurogiri. He's parlaying. He's doing a parlay with Stain. He's like, yeah, let's do a team up, an old-fashioned villain team up. That'd be cool, right?
And Stain's like, sure, time and place.
All right, great. Here's my IG.
Now, we know what the finals are going to be, clearly, because we've been building up to this. It's going to be Icy Hot versus Bakugo.
Yep, Todoroki versus Bakugo, and again, Todoroki's he used his fire during the Midoriya fight, but hasn't really used it since. And
Bakugo, being the guy that he is like, hey, I noticed that.
I'm like, you better give 100% to me. All right, I don't want any of your disrespect, because he will feel disrespected if Todoroki does not go 100%. It's not a real victory.
He's literally half-assing it.
Yeah.
And that's what that scene was all about.
Yeah.
And I love that, how he's like, I want to win on my terms, not on your terms.
Yeah. So Todoroki has a very strong opening. He basically creates like an ice mountain wall, and but Bakugo, being Bakugo, he's like, no. He basically he spelunks his way through it.
He just makes a fireball.
He just keeps on, and then he just makes his way, which is if these characters had any bigger metaphors, yeah, it would be that.
So Bakugo's just screaming at Icy Hot to use all of his strength.
Yes.
And you kind of maybe hopefully think that Bakugo is breaking through. he's gonna have him break out and really overcome
Yeah.
all
And,
those demons inside.
and for a while, yeah, Todoroki is about to use his power, but because he's going through so much psychologically, it's like he kind of throws the fight. He's going through a lot of turmoil with his family, and he loses, and Bakugo just gives him one giant
Tornado punch.
tornado howitzer impact. I think that's what it's called.
Howard's. I know the tank thing is in there. I just forget the name.
You know that.
If you know the name, can you leave a comment just so that way I can be corrected?
Bakugo, do you know what his birthday is?
May 29th?
It's April 20th.
April 20th.
April 20th. Yes, the same day Hitler was born. So just keep that in mind. I mean, yeah, and that's definitely and that's a lot of his powers or moves are actually like howitzer and just a lot of German stuff. Just throwing it out there. Just one of those things.
He has blonde hair.
Yeah, but Todoroki basically threw the fight, and Bakugo technically wins, but he can't have no. He can't lose. It's not a real victory.
And he still wants to fight.
He still wants to fight. But
and Midnight's like, we're gonna stop this. Now
Midnight, with her quirk, she can sedate people with a mist.
Now,
and Bakugo is declared the winner.
My favorite part of this is the ceremony, because Bakugo does not want to accept it at all. So they have to literally muzzle him.
That's great. And no one's happy. I love that no one's happy. Like Tomoyaki, he's like, all right, third. That's like
I pedestaled, whatever.
Pedestal is fine. And Todoroki's still going through things.
He's like, I used it, but I didn't use it.
I'm like, I guess. I mean,
and Bakugo's like, why did you use 100% against Midoriya, but you don't use 100% against me?
Yeah,
why are you disrespecting me?
And that feeds into his insecurity. He needs to be number one. He's been treated like a prodigy all his life, and the standards are so high, so impossibly high, that he constantly has to prove himself.
And yet, even in victory, it feels like a defeat to him.
Yes.
Because it's not the way he wanted to win.
So you're saying that victory has defeated him?
Yes. and then somebody comes in with a backbreaker.
Ah, yes. So Ida should also be in the pedestal in third place, but his brother is in the hospital.
Yeah. So he had to get out of Dodge.
Yeah.
Now, I love that All Might here comes in because he only has an hour.
Only has an hour, and he's awarding the students with medals. He tells Tomoyaki to that he did a good job, but not rely so much on his quirk, which is accurate.
Yeah, that's how he lost. It's also how he won.
Yes.
And he's like,
and he understands that Todoroki has been going through some things, and hopefully he'll sort it out.
He, basically lets him know he's his own man.
Yeah. Oh, and my
this is my
personal favorite.
Yes.
It's like, no, what is up with this kid?
And All Might realizes that Bakugo just doesn't want this at all.
And he's like, no, I'm not taking it. I'm not taking the medal.
Puts it on his nose.
Like, yes, let this be a reminder. Let this be a wound, so you will never forget. And I'm like, that's the showmanship of All Might right there.
Because one, it's a great line, and two, it shows how much he understands Bakugo.
You gotta spin it. I love it.
Like, let this be a wound to remind you. And All Might has to get out of Dodge because it's almost the hour, and they're booing because nobody likes Bakugo.
Well, they're booing because it's like they think they're gonna say go beyond plus ultra, whereas All Might says, "Good job. Oh, was I supposed to say plus ultra here? No, I was supposed to say the thing.
Oh, right. How
uh,
dare you be a person and not, like, stick to the script?
yeah. But, yeah.
So here you see there's an empty chair, and that's because Ida is visiting his brother.
Yes.
And we get some heart-wrenching news. Ingenium can't feel his legs.
He's paralyzed. He can no longer be a pro hero. And he wants... Ingenium wants his brother Tenya Ida to carry on the legacy of being the next Ingenium.
And that's a lot.
Yeah.
Because he's a freshman in high school.
Yeah. Todoroki's going through some
that
things.
Was his sister.
Sister, yeah. And Todoroki's visiting his mom, who has been in the hospital for the past few years, trying to recuperate. And this is good. This is good for his character. He needs to, come to terms with that. And I think he's growing as a character because of it. And that's the tournament arc.
I feel one of the strongest arcs in My Hero Aca. For me, it made me fall in love with Bakugo.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, you think he's this jerk, for a jerk's sake. No, he just has a lot of stress and self-made pressure.
Yes.
And he doesn't know how to deal with that. And when push comes to shove, he just wants to be the best he can and just fight people that are the best. And that's why I love Uraraka and Bakugo's fight.
Oh, yeah. So Uraraka is
and speaking
visited
of Uraraka,
by her parents. It's very sweet. It's like, you came over. That's nice. And
she's freaking out because she thinks they're going to yell at her. And they're like, oh, we love you.
Yeah. And
this is
we have Izuku with his mom.
She's like, I passed out 4 times.
Passed out a number of times. Like 5 times, I think. And that he's like, oh, you keep on hurting yourself. I wish I kind of... Like... She likes that he has a quirk now, but it's right now it's just doing him harm.
Yeah.
And he's got to learn how to control it, which is another thing that happens with this season. So, yeah, just stay tuned.
We're going to be talking about that in the next episode.
And Bakugo is
brushing his
teeth. Even when he's brushing his teeth, he's angry. That's how committed he is. I love it. The passion, the spirit. That's Bakugo.
That's how you make your gums bleed. Ah.
They better bleed.
And here we're just talking, and here the class is just talking about the next steps.
Here's the next episode. So yay! That's the tournament arc. Basically half of the first.
Season 2.
Half of season 2. So yeah, I really dig it, and we'll come out with part 2 later on.
And hopefully we'll be coming out with a recap of season 3. And when we get to the end of season 3, I actually want to do recaps of every episode and just do them
of
week
season
by
4.
week.
Yeah. Let's see if we do it week by week.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
If you made it to the end, thanks so much for watching.
Thanks for watching. I hope we didn't waste your time.